Hello, the Orville fans. This is David Whitney. It is time for After the Orville. Hey, it's David with After the Orville, and we are here to review Tomorrow, Today. Cue the music. Okay, warning, this is a spoiler. You haven't seen it yet, don't watch the show. And it started out right away, because I've been curious about this. Isaac using his tech skills to enhance the Union's capabilities. And of course, he's messing with time travel. Why wouldn't he be messing with time travel, of course? Now, right away I noticed what he said was interesting. He said that if he's successful, they would be able to manipulate both biological and non-biological matter, which tells me that he is already focusing on how to deal with the Kalon, and so that's good news for us, for the Orville and the Union. What did we find out in this episode? We found out that Kelly's from the past is not an invader. The commercial led us to believe, the preview led us to believe that there might be an invader on the ship, and but we find out she's Kelly from 7 years ago. Kelly is just had a date with Ed, and is still hungover from the date, and so that's where her life picks up on the Orville, and that is a really great way to start a time travel episode. I know they could have gone any direction with this, and Star Trek and other shows have done multiple different angles on this. I thought it was very wise on their part to pull someone from the past onto the ship instead of throwing the ship back into time. Now, my wife made a comment when we were watching this that what are they going to do if they find out that they're the ones who are back in time and they go back to Earth and it's 7 years earlier. I thought, he said he was going to contact the Admiral, but we did not see him contact the Admiral. So I doubt that's what's going to happen, but it was a very clever idea. We also found out that Tala wants a friend. Apparently she still making her way on the ship and wants to feel a part of it. And Kelly, a younger Kelly, would represent another fresh face like her. So she would have someone her age, someone to hang out with. So at the end of the show, when they sent her back in time to her time, they talked, and they were going to have a drink together after the show. And during this whole situation with Ed and Kelly, and I knew right away there was going to be a problem with Ed and Kelly and the younger Kelly, and how could Ed really fight the temptation to get in a relationship with a younger Kelly and not have all the baggage that and stupid mistakes he made with modern day Kelly, and he could try to fix those. But of course, when they're making out on the bed, it was just too weird for him, and I have to agree that would have been weird for anybody, and I think he made the right choice to pause and hesitate on that. Now, I want to make predictions right away. After the Orville, made some predictions, and I did very good. I only made a couple of errors, but I'm very proud of my predictions, so if you get a chance, go watch my last prediction show. My favorite prediction I made was that we would see Isaac's head cannons, and we did in fact get to see Isaac's cannon come out of his head as he blasted the rest of the Kalons on the bridge. Okay, so at the end of the show, the doctor gives Kelly an injection to take her memory away. But when she goes back in time and she wakes up on the floor, and I said to myself, right now Ed's going to call. They put her right back to the moment she was at. Ed is going to make that phone call. It's 9 a.m. and let's see what happens. And sure enough, there was Ed. Hey, I had a great time. I'd like to take you out again. And she says no. And from the look on her face, you can tell that the memory change, or the change that the doctor did not take which means the future will be irrevocably changed, possibly, and this is going to cause all sorts of problems in the future. So right away I started to speculate that Kelly, whose aspirations were to be a captain, that is what's going to happen. And when we go back on episode 2 of Tomorrow, part 2, I'm predicting that Kelly will be the captain of the ship. And who knows if Ed will even be on the ship, or if the Mocklins are on the ship. There may be no Mocklins on the ship, because Mocklins are not too kind to women, and a female captain might be something that they're not willing to deal with. A whole host of things that will be different can happen here. So those looking for an alternate universe episode, like we get in some of our other old science fiction shows, where they switch lives in an alternate universe, I think it's going to have that kind of a feel. So I think that the costumes are going to change, the uniforms are going to change. Kelly is going to have an impact on the Union that she wouldn't have had if she did not know it was going to happen. And so that's going to be interesting to see. Does Kelly keep her mouth shut, go through with the wedding with Ed on purpose, and get to the point at the end of part 2 where she had to deal with all of this, knowing full well what was going to happen. I'm also hoping that Isaac will. We got to see a couple Kalon ships again, and they protected themselves by going into the ice ring, clinging on to a large chunk of ice, foaming the outside of the ship, icing it up, and they were able to to avoid detection of the Kalon ships. Now, I think that Isaac is developing this weapon to deal with the Kalon, and I think that this way the Orville will be able to kind of put a clamp down on the Kalon, which will have a huge impact on the Union and their defense capabilities. And so I think we're going to see those Kalon ships again. Now, if Isaac is able to perfect this time travel weapon, which is what it can be used for, that means, from what we've seen already with Kelly coming from the past to the future, that they will be able to travel through time using their thoughts. And that's scary, because if you're prepping for a time travel assignment, if your thoughts stray to the wrong thing, you are going to end up in the wrong place at the wrong time with no way to get back. And that would be an interesting episode if we get a time travel episode in the future where they try to use this again to fight the Kalon, or something goes wrong with the Krill and they end up having to fight the Krill again, that they mess up and somebody gets sent back through time, and then we end up finding this old man struggling down the road, and it's Ed, saying, I went back through time and I had to wait till now to tell you about this. And so I'm hoping that something like that will happen. I think that would be great. I want to know your thoughts about Tomorrow, part 2, and I can't wait to see tomorrow when we get to see part 2. It's going to be great. Let us know what you think about part 1. And this is David with After the Orville, and I hope I'm the first one with the review, but I doubt it, because there's like 5 guys now doing reviews, and I love them all. And I just want to thank you, all you Orville evangelists and you preachers and lovers of the Orville. It's nice to have a show like this, and I think in my mind, even though I was hoping for Star Trek Discovery to be different than it is, and I'm hoping for the Picard show to be different than I think it's going to be, I almost don't care, because we've got a show that hits everything I enjoy about science fiction in general. We got robots, we got great stories, great characters, great writing, and the show has taken itself to a second level. And someone commented that, I saw that Seth is going to be getting a star on the Walk of Fame, and I'm hoping that's when they choose to announce an Orville Season 3. and I'm hoping they also think about a spin-off from the Orville and perhaps the Wilbur or something else. And this is David with ATO. We'll see you later.